It's another fantastic Monday morning, and I'm here once again coming to you live from DSTV 421 and GoTV channel 144 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're JoyNews on TV. My name is Mapisa Sibidi, and a couple of things trended over the weekend, and I will bring you up to speed after this. Now, let's start with our Drive Safe campaign. And Cecile Gabra, who's the CEO of Top Tech Logistics, has been telling us things we should do and not do when driving on the road while it's raining.
When it's raining and then you don't have good wipers. So find somewhere else and park. You must not even move the vehicle unless the rain has totally stopped. If it is a very serious case, you have to go by with public transport because once you cannot see, you cannot drive. So park your vehicles, right? I hope that's quite enough for this explanation. I was talking about tires, which is number 2. You need very good tires. At least your tread limit must not be less than 1.6 millimeters, because in driving you have something we call aquaplaning. Water must ooze out in between the treads, and then your tire must always be dry so that you can have the contact, that's the braking effect on the road, depending on the type of road. Anyway, when it's asphalt, it is much more better. Right. 3, take your time naturally when you're driving. Okay, there's nothing like slowing down. You actually need to slow down because the road becomes very, very slippery. And then you know what? The most dangerous part of the race is that when it is drizzling, it is it is rather very, very dangerous. The roads becomes very slippery. And remember that one of the most dangerous times is as soon as the rain begins, because you have these oils on the road. You know, a lot of oil leakages on the road are there. And then when water touches on, because of the heat, it becomes very dangerous for you to drive on. And if you don't take care, you go on your brakes will not work. So bear in mind that you need to slow down when it begins to rain, rather, right? Don't rush to your destination. Just wait. Continue to wait, and then if the rains are down, you can go, because if the rains are very serious and you are driving, you never know which tree is going to break down. Your headlights, turn your headlights on and help other vehicles to see you. Never drive with your parking lights. Parking lights are meant for parking. Okay, and then in Ghana, when it's 6 o'clock or when the weather is changing, you realize that many people try to put on their headlights by putting on their parking lights on. This is so wrong, and I repeat, it's so wrong. Don't drive with your parking lights when it is raining, or even in the evening. You need to put on your headlights on. Your headlights must see up to 40 meters, that is your low beam, and then your high beam must see up to 100 meters. If you don't have it, just go to DVLA. You pay, I think it's about 32 cedis for it to be adjusted. So turn your lights. Keep a firm grip on your steering, okay? Whilst you are driving, you need a lot more of concentration. Then keep your radios and so on off. You need to listen to the sound of your vehicle. Give yourself more space. Add 1 or 2 extra seconds of concentration, because you never know what is in front of you. Now, you also need to follow the vehicle in front of you when it's raining. And then remember that all of you are driving at a certain speed, very slow speed. You don't need to drive at the first, a very faster speed. So slow down, don't drive too fast. And never drive in floods. When you see any flood water, don't drive into it. I mean, it's so tricky. Never drive, never think you have a 4x4 vehicle and then you can go through. Look, if you want proper training on 4x4, you come to me, I'll teach you. 4x4 is not an amphibian. It is for a purpose. And if it is water, you don't drive through water that has got current underneath it. When it's raining, it is always dangerous for you to drive when you see deep water, because you have a 4x4, forget about it. Right? A lot of people have lost their lives. In worse conditions that are not you cannot able to drive in the rain, the best thing to do is park your vehicle.
Right.
Park your vehicle and then wait till the rains go down. So wipers are very important. Coming back to it, please make sure you change your wipers every 3 months, because it is not any good thing.
Remember to always drive safe. Now, away from that, World Immunization Week is celebrated every year in the last week of April. Now, it aims to promote the use of vaccines to protect people of all ages against diseases. Immunization saves millions of lives every year and is widely recognized as one of the world's most successful health interventions. Yet there are still nearly 20 million children in the world today who are not getting the vaccines they need, and many miss out on vital vaccines during adolescence, adulthood, and into old age. Now, in 2019 in Ghana, we began vaccinating children against malaria in some selected regions. The jabs, known as RTS, is the world's first malaria vaccine shown to provide partial protection against malaria in young children. Now, 2 years on, the National Malaria Control Program says about 70% of children who are targeted in the central, Volta, upper eastern parts of the Bono regions have been inoculated. Program manager Dr. Kezia Mom says, though the number is quite encouraging, it is important for the children to take the 4 doses of the vaccines as stipulated.
As at the end of December 2020, we've been able to meet 70% of our target for the first dose. However, you realize that the proportion of children who come for the subsequent dose are reduced as we go down the doses. You know, you're supposed to take 4 doses. So we had recorded about 22% of our targets for dose 4 by December 2020. Yes, we know that it's expected that vaccines or things that you have to come back in the second year of life to get, usually it's a difficult thing to do. You get less children being brought for that. So it's expected that the numbers go down. But I think we need to put in more efforts to encourage people to come for this vaccine, because the fear of vaccines and the anti-vaccination campaign sometimes is having an effect on people accepting that this is an intervention that is not harmful.
Meanwhile, the National Malaria Control Program will be distributing mosquito nets to everyone in the country as part of efforts to realize its target of achieving reduction in reported cases and near zero malaria-related deaths.
We still continue to see a very high number of malaria cases being reported at our outpatient department. We are recording confirmed malaria cases in the millions. Last year, we recorded over 5 million confirmed malaria cases, and that is a number too many. We see that there are interventions that can help us reduce malaria. Let's all adapt and use these interventions so that we don't get malaria. For the rest of the country this year, we will be distributing mosquito nets to all people in the country. We kindly ask that if you happen to get these nets, please sleep in them.
On that note, we're going to take a quick breather. We'll be back with more.